How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Scarlet. You guys asked for daily rumor videos. Well, we've got daily rumor videos, so let's get right into the news. Starting things off, we have a few theories coming to us from Soul Silver Art as well as a few other people. I thought we'd take a look at that specifically first. And right here, we start with this thing. As you guys may know, there's a lot of, talks about what will the new, DLC region we actually saw be based on, right? We don't really know what Kitakami, that's the name of it, is actually going to be based on. And, well, here's a bit of a theory. This is a perfect example of how Kitakami can 100% be based on real-life Kitakami in Japan, which, if you don't know, Kitakami is really a place in Japan, in the Tohoku region of Japan, but still be located in Pokemon World's equivalent of Europe, bordering or near Paldea, as Game Freak have already done similar concepts in past gens. Shout out to Marmite Tempest for actually coming up with this theory. Here's what they said. Marmite Tempest says, a large immigration town from another region wouldn't be a first for Pokemon either. Look at Malay City, a city in Alola that's highly influenced by Johto in universe, like literally in the game. They even point out in this city that is based on Johto, that they use influence of Johto for it specifically, which makes total freaking sense. If you see right here, he specifically talked about this previously. Kitakami's location is still up in the air until officially confirmed. Some believe it's close to Johto and Sinnoh, with a good reason, but if it's close to Paldea, a fun idea is that it could be a community that embraces the Johto and Sinnoh customs and culture, even though they aren't located near those regions. Kind of like what Little Italy and Chinatown is like IRL. Maybe a large group of people immigrated from Johto to this land near Paldea, but kept their customs as they established Kitakami. Or maybe they just have a respect and love for foreign cultures, so they take a time out of the year where they celebrate those cultures for a few months. And in that time, everything is done in that Sinnoh way. In the end, it's the Pokemon world, so who knows? But yeah, exactly. It is possible it could be based on that. And of course, when we look at Kitakami, like you said here, it's 100% based on Japan and its culture, but I'm on the side that believes it is located to the northeast of Paldea. Why? The biggest hints are Kitakami being translated in various ways and languages as North, Upper, God, East. We know for months about this unused marked off northeastern area in the game's code. The land that borders the unused area in the northeastern corner of Paldea is a huge hint. Its music and landscape completely changed to Eastern/Asian themes. Why would this be in a Spanish region? And there's mountains littered throughout this area. Kitakami could be on the other side of the border at the base of these mountains. I mean, it's literally the only place you can get Bisharp, who evolves into a Shogun Pokemon. Then the Treasure Ruin were said to have been brought from the east. I know they mean Chinese, but Game Freak obviously mixes cultures and origins all the time. Lastly, a bit of a stretch, but Carmine, Italian, and Kieran, Irish, are from Kitakami and still have more European names. Exactly. Of course, it could be wrong and they just scrap this unused area entirely, and Kitakami would be a whole new map they'll probably make. Or that area is Kitakami, but it's not physically attached to Paldea in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet lore, or literally in the game. The bottom line is, this is definitely possibly the still, he says, it's all fantasy, change in the creators see fit. Also, Kalos Returning is dead. But yeah, we already kind of knew that. So yeah, that's a few of the things we've been talking about, a few of the theories, all that kind of stuff. I just want to hear what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. And let's move on to the next thing, which is going to be this theory right here that was posted recently by Soul Silver. If you again do not know who Soul Silver is, he's a leak analyst, news sharer type of person. Either way, he says, spoilery. This just clicked for me. What if we've been looking at the new DLC forms? If you don't know what he's talking about here, basically there's talks about how we're going to be getting some form of like Terrastall Pokemon that is going to be a little bit different. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, basically, think of how we have Dynamax and then Gigantamax. Well, this is basically, we know based on leaks, there's going to be a new version of Terrastall that's going to actually change the way a Pokemon looks. But here's what he says. This just clicked for me. But what if we've been looking at the new DLC forms all wrong? What if they're exactly like this? And then he shows an image right here from Meduru-sama, who basically drew different typings of the starter Pokemon. He says, what if they're exactly like many other Fakemon that do a type swap of an existing Pokemon with a completely different type? That's basically what Terrastall is, except now, in the DLC, the Pokemon would visually change to another type too. For example, a new Terraform Skeledirge would lose all that makes it look like a fire type, and it would now look like a grass type. I imagine an actual nest of vines and leaves around its neck instead of the fire. I really think this would be what happens instead of just crystallized traits of the new Terra type, or the new type put on top of the Pokemon's usual design. What do you think? The art is sublime too. What's crazy about it, I'd still pick Puekoko, which actually fits me better, since I don't normally choose fire starters, but I also think it fits him better too. Manzana Academy, anyone? Question mark. Again, it could be cool. As Blaze does say though, he says, I'm going to imagine them to look like this. And this is what I'm imagining them to look like more as well. Something along the lines of this rather than this. Though I would prefer this, I'm going to be honest, I would prefer this if it's a literal type swap. But I do think these are going to be more likely. Like these just feel more likely, okay? They feel more realistic in a sense. So again, you guys' thoughts and opinions will be appreciated on this as well. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this. And let's move on to the next subject, which is going to be this right here. According to Cerebi, the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet serial code for the Pokeball Canvas Backpack is now available through Pokemon Home. So get on Pokemon Home on mobile for all players who completed 3 or more battles in this weekend's online competition. So there you go. If you did that, then hop on, get your code, and get yourself the Canvas Backpack right now. And then we also have these news. Apparently, this is actually something that was already rumored, and now it's actually true. Cerebi update, the next 7-star Terra Raid battles has been officially revealed. A battle against a Ghost Terra-type Typhlosion, which of course is a hint to Hisui, because, you know, Hisui and Typhlosion has the Ghost typing. Runs from the 14th of April through the 16th, and April 21st through April 23rd. And we also have like a little bit of a, opinion piece here from Soul Silver. Says, well, I'm glad to see this saga come to an end. Looks like guessing the Hisuian starters was just a good guess. No leaks here at all. Typhlosion is next up, but it's Ghost type Terra, not Dark. Actually, wait. Isn't it normally Ghost? Isn't it? I'm pretty sure that one is Ghost. It is, isn't it? It is. Yeah, it is. I'm just kind of getting confused here. But either way, and this is all coming from the fact that he did a bit of a theory back then, talking about like the fact that, a bug Terra type Samurott was coming out, which wasn't I guess a water fighting, which is what Samurott from Hisui is like, but either way, it doesn't really matter. Let's move on to the next subject, which of course is just a breakdown of what's on these Pokemon, or this new Pokemon. So you also have, let's see, so basically next 7-star Terra Raid announced, Terra Ghost type Typhlosion. Best Pokemon to deal with it is going to be Chi-Yu, with a Shell Bell, ability Beads of Ruin, and you should have these EVs if you can get that. Terra-type Dark, Modest Nature, and then you've got this moveset. Why? Well, pros, huge special defense, huge special attack, resist fire and ghost attacks with 0.5 damage, immune to psychic attacks, Breeds of Ruin will decrease the resist by 25%. Typhlosion will have an Infernal Parade, so probably as soon as the battle starts, we'll use a Will-O-Wisp and burn us to deal 120 base damage from this attack. So yeah, perfect little strat there coming in from Light, so shout out to him. And speaking of Light, he's also a bit of basically a theorizer, a leak analyst kind of person, and he's got a bit of a theory here. So I'm going to start with this one. So he kicks off by talking about specifically, I think in this case, we're talking about the, I'm going to jump over to his Twitter. We're specifically talking about a bit of a theory he had here, so we're going to have to scroll down a bit. So here, he talks first about AI Turo and Sada were created with the power of Terapagos. And Terapagos, by the way, is the turtle legendary for the second DLC. Just a controlled AI to protect the time machine in case it was attacked, which, yes, that seems to be the case. He also says that the Protection Paradise Protocol was created in secret by the power of another dangerous Pokemon that was not yet seen. Arvin saw it, was the one who injured Mabustiff, and no, it is not a Paradox known Pokemon, because there is no mention at all in the game that was any of the Paradox Pokemon we saw. Also, Arvin knows that these Scarlet and Purple book very well, and the Occulture magazines, since he carries it on him all the time. He would have recognized it. The point is that this Pokemon will have 2 forms, Ancient and Future, because when we went down to Area 0, Arvin explained that there was a kind of Future/Ancient Pokemon never seen before. Then why does the DLC especially need to have the Scarlet or Purple game, depending on your version? Obviously because there will be a different Pokemon in each game, but this one too. And again, I guess this would just imply that Turo and Sada were created by Terapagos, and then the Protection Paradise Protocol was made in secret by the power of another dangerous Pokemon. So is Terapagos technically good then? I don't really know. That's a bit strange. Because right here he says, you will fall here within this garden paradise and achieve nothing in the end. And then Arvin says, I got about this far, and then I got attacked by some kind of creature I'd never seen before. I wasn't even like a Pokemon, more like this crazy weird metallic machine thing. Yeah, I'm sure it was completely different creature altogether. It wasn't even like a Pokemon, more like this crazy violent rampaging sort of thing. Which, again, could it be one of these? I think maybe a Pokemon was one of these. monsters of Area Zero, and then you see, of course, the the Donphan forms right there. But again, it is a bit strange. And of course, the DLC is only compatible with Pokemon Violet game. Full version of the game is required to use DLC sold separately. So yes, you need to have the matching DLC as well, by the way. And it's weird that they would make such an emphasis on that, because I think for Scarlet, for Sword and Shield, that wasn't the case, which means that the DLC will have different stuff in them that only matches the copy of the game that you have. So that's fair enough. But yeah, the game is very, like, Jarehe says, which is the game is very cryptic. But we'll have to wait and see if anything develops from that. But he also says this as well here. Actually, the pedestal where we placed the Scarlet and Violet book has 6 slots, and we only saw 1. So there could be a chance that we are missing 5 objects to finally shut down the time machine. I don't believe there are actually 6 books in total, but there could be some other objects to put in this pedestal, as the theme of this game is implied to be the visible spectrum. Could fit each color from there: violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So you got the Violet book, the Indigo disc, the Teal mask, the 3rd book, the orange one, and the Scarlet book. It is quite scary, but because it actually fits perfectly, probably we have to collect them in the DLC to finally end this story. What do you think? I think it could be highly possible. Yes, they're definitely using the spectrum for this, given the the colors, Scarlet and Violet, the ends of the spectrum, the violet and the red on the other side. It makes perfect sense, I've got to say. But again, we'll have to wait and see if anything develops from that. Moving on to the next thing, which is this right here from Danny, who says this is the month's Animedia. Has 2 page spread on Pokemon Horizons. 6 more days until the series starts. So yeah, it's going to be in, I guess, 5 days from now. But yeah, if you guys have kept up with the information, it looks like it's going to be an interesting show. I mean, definitely going to have some Paldea connections to it, so I think it's worthwhile keeping a tab on this show. I might be watching it. I might do updates, as the episodes come out every week, but on this channel. So yeah, either way, let's move on to the next subject, which is going to be this post right here from Umino Tami, who says, theory of the Blueberry Academy, where the distance from Kasabusa City, the setting of Shinchan, similar to Fuecoco, to Kitakami is 390 kilometers. The distance from Kasukabe City to Blue Isle is also 390. Agoshima is believed to be part of the Sevi Islands, which again is kind of trying to make the Japan connection here, is what I guess Umino Tami is trying to do. Yes, this means that Kitakami, Riko Roy Kanto, Sevi Kitchen, and the Blueberry Academy are all connected, which I personally don't know if that's the case. I mean, yeah, it could be. It could be. The Sevi Kitchen, yeah, it could be. Anything is possible, But it also continues on. That fills one piece of the Japanese title logo. Kitakami, Hisui, and BDSP, and DP, and Blueberry is Fire Leaf Green. Of course, Time is Heart Gold Silver, and Rayquaza is Emerald. Bit confusing, not even gonna lie. The Ogasawara Islands are a World Heritage Site, and Pokemon donated the manholes. Wait. The manholes? What? Oh, okay, the literal manhole covers. That's weird. Okay. During the manholes, the tweet was made on the March 31st by the Pokemon Club. Agoshima is the closest place to Ogasawara Islands. Nick says, on the same day, the Pokemon TCG game 151 was announced. The main feature is Mew, which will be released on June 16th, which is also when the DLC is likely to be announced. Although objections exist, some say that Kabe City is a Cerulean city, and Cerulean City had Mewtwo. This year marks the 25th anniversary of the release of Mewtwo Strikes Back in America. It is next year. White Teal is in the fall, and Indigo is in the winter. Mewtwo's castle is inspired by the Sagrada Familia, which, yes, that is definitely true. Orange is a grape. Orange or Grape Academy is also a Sagrada Familia. And then we have maps, which I guess Kitakami would be in the top right there, Johto there, and Kanto's in the middle. So I guess it's just trying to make that whole connection between them, I guess, right? It also says that we have Roy's from a remote island in Kanto. Roy, not knowing why, happens to meet Fuecoco on the island, which is interesting because, oh my god, that would actually make sense then. In a weird way, that would make sense that Kitakami is close to Kanto. But it's just weird, man. But again, they can take liberty with this kind of stuff. They can really go anywhere they want to with this. That's just the thing. Also, finally, I just want to show off this really awesome artwork from Yokaiju. It's a Paradox Entei. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy it, then drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye-bye.